Hello, my beautiful earth signs. What? Let's get our weekly done. All right, so our grounding energy that first came out was distorted perceptions, right? Especially from the last week that we've been having. So for the rest of this energy, right, we have September 7th, which will be the new moon coming in, right? So this is really just allowing us to shed all this stuff and pull our energy back, right? Really being in our emotions and feels, because we have reality is rarely what we are raised to believe it is. And that's exactly how I'm finding that as I'm changing, as my gifts are changing, as I'm learning to really plow through this energy for the collectives and really just talk about the things that are going on, not only with myself, but within the frequencies, the energies, the changing that's been happening. I'm really starting to see the changes that I've been really seeing for quite a while, right? And so for me, it's just validation that this is how we were meant to kind of step in as collectives. So this is actually a really beautiful card. I love that there's truth and that the root chakra energy is kind of just earthy and just really learning to ground in all these beautiful waves of frequency, which would make sense. In podcast, we had ground and center, right? So allowing us to make sure that we are staying in a grounding centered energy is really going to benefit us in these times of change here. So first out, we pulled Date with Destiny, right? And we are being protected to step into the light, to really make this forward movement in this Date with Destiny, right? It was already destined. We've just been trying to clear and get ourselves in alignment to find where this destined energy was trying to take us, right? So then with our next energy, we have Princess Victorious. Who knew? I love it. So again, this is really stepping out of the shadows, right? Putting our crown on and just saying, look, this is the way it is. This is what I see. And again, I've been trying to remember that just because I see things a certain way, or I know specific things about where this journey is leading us, I can only lead the collectives as far as they want to go, right? And so I have to remember that without putting myself in judgment, or the collectives in judgment for not seeing that everything happens as it's supposed to, right? Which is why we are now coming out of the darkness, right? We have the cards, when they're lined up, right, look like this for me. So we're stepping into our date with destiny, really allowing ourselves to shine, right, which is what is going to put us in balance, right, of our masculine, feminine energies. Because again, out of the darkness is very much, I love this card though. Look at all the designs and the coldness, the bitterness of really allowing ourselves to step in to this beautiful victorious energy, right? Getting all dolled up for our date with destiny, what? So then underneath a date with destiny, it's about listening. We have the steampunk priestess, right? This is very much that high priestess energy. Our dreams, our intuitions, our secrets hold the key to unlocking these doors, right? And I've been carrying a key around now for the last 6 months, maybe even longer actually, in my pocket or on my or with my stones, right? And really listening to my intuition, trying to open these doors in this pathway, right? So with the steampunk princess being under date with destiny, it's because we are following our intuition, listening, making sure we're staying guided with spirit and alignment, right? Really hearing and feeling everything that comes in, because with earth signs, we are so grounded and we feel everything, everybody's emotions, right? And that's been, I think, the hardest for the earth signs over these last, I know it's been the hardest for me over the last week, because I see so much that's going on in my community, and it's very frustrating for me, right? And it's like, I understand we all have a voice, right? And we all want to be heard, but there's a time and a place for us to be able to move forward in this energy without judgment of others or ourselves, right? And so it's really had me pulling my energy back and really trying to see what's been going on. Underneath the Princess Victorious, we have the Good Geisha, right? And I love how it's just really about feeling, see, there's that tear that's coming, right? There's that coldness, that bitterness, because all we want is to share the good of this magical destiny that we're stepping into, right? And this is about making sure that you are not forcing, we're all sovereign beings in this lifetime, right? And again, that's why it's like, hey, I can only take you where you want to go. And then the rest is on you to do the work, to manifest it, to get where you need to be, right? Because out of the darkness, we are stepping into the circus of love, right? So we're coming out of this cold, bitter energy to be in celebration of root chakra, right? Of the things that we're manifesting, right? Of not having distorted perception of where we think we should be, right? It's all being set for us in divine timing, as long as we're allowing ourselves to go with the flow and set in these energies. Then that's why we are stepping into this very much this circus of love, right? It's about allowing these emotions to help us through the energies that have been frequent. The frequencies have been just amazingly strong over the last couple of weeks. And so it's very important when we're going through these changes to allow ourselves, right, to go through the changes and not put any blocks up, not put any expectations up, but just being unconditional in our energy. Because the people that are stepping into our path, they obviously are here for soul's journey, right? And I'm always saying, if we're looking at it in two different perspectives, the people that are meant to fall away are the ones that come in and teach us a lesson, and then they're out, right? And then we cut and tie and bind that energy. And then the soul tribes that come in and they stay and they're frequent and talking and communicating and validating where we are in this energy, they're our soul tribe, right? And so those are the ones that we need to protect. Those are the ones that we need to show how to step into their magic and how to be beautiful and abundant within themselves, right? Because we're all whole and complete. We all pull masculine, feminine energies. Masculine is our ego. Feminine is our heart chakra, right? That's the alignment to be able to manifest correctly. So let's go ahead and get some information with this date from Date with Destiny energy for this week. So the Date with Destiny, I think Spirit's trying to tell us something. Our Date with Destiny this week that we are moving into is with the Six of Swords, right? Moving out of choppy waters, right? That bitterness, that cold energy, that frequency, of choppy waters, right, into smooth sailing, right? We're just sailing into it because we've allowed ourselves to get out of the Nine of Swords energy. I love this very much because it's very much that staying in your head, right? Seeing in the void, clearing out all the old. Because you want the Ten of Cups energy, earth signs. What? what? Yes, we do. Emotional fulfillment. That's why we're stepping out of the darkness into the circus of love, listening to our intuition, right? Especially with the good geisha. It's like we all have the right intention, right? There was nothing ever behind the intentions. We just want everybody to win, including ourselves, right? And so with the good geisha, it's about blossoming and blooming and coming out of that darkness. So you can see for emotional fulfillment, for closing out old black cycles, right? That bitterness, that is our date with destiny. So let's find out about the Princess Victorious energy that we're stepping into. Princess Victorious, we have the Devil in reverse, which is beautiful. That means we've cut all toxic energies to be in the proper frequency of alignment, right? That's why for this new moon cycle, it's very much about releasing all the old shit, right? And just really feeling in heart chakra to be able to manifest, cutting anything that no longer serves you for your highest and best good, especially if it's toxic energies or toxic behaviors, right? That's what we've been really trying to get out of, especially with us coming out of the darkness here, right? This bitter, cold energy, right? Really allowing ourselves to sparkle, to shine, right? Just being fulfilled within our own energy, because we know the things that we know, and eventually we'll all get there, right? So let's get, I'd like some clarification on the Devil in reverse, the toxic energies for this victorious energy. So cutting toxic energies, then we have the King of Wands energy, which is very much that in and out kind of energy, right? And we've been talking about this King of Wands now for a long minute here. Since last year, he was coming in and out of the energies. And so that's exactly the energy that we cut, that we were tired of, that we just said, I'm not going to play in that kind of energy of this in and out kind of bullshit, right? You're either in journey or you're out of journey. And either way, I'm okay with how I'm moving forward in my journey. Right? So that's beautiful. I love that, actually, because it pulls us out of the darkness, because we're not allowing ourselves to keep dealing with that kind of toxic energy. So coming out of the darkness, we have the Hierophant, right? Which is very much about that grounding energy coming out of the shadows, right? There's all these energies, and again, it just very much comes with that out of the darkness energy. So this is about being in committed to journey, right? Committed to soul's path, right? Because that's what she's doing, walking on soul's path. Because again, we have a date with destiny, right? Oh, and I just noticed on here's a little snake, right? This is going through the transformation because we just cut ourselves with the devil energy of these toxic energies that are in and out of our being, right? Because we want something truthful, stable, equally giving and receiving in our energies, right? And if you're not going to be able to provide us with just the basic respect in this forward movement, then we don't want that shit. I know I don't, and that's why I've worked really hard to cut the ties from allowing this energy to really affect who I am in this frequency. So I love that out of the darkness has been clarified with the Hierophant energy, because that's exactly why we cut all these toxic energies and pulled our energy back and said, fuck it, right? We want emotional completion. We want emotional happiness. And if we can't get provided that energy, we don't want it. We want committed to spiritual journey, right? There's a specific reason why I do the things that I do, why I have the outlets that I have: podcasts, YouTube, and Facebook, right? Those are my three outlets where there's so much information that I put in there to be able to bring and draw everybody in, that it can become harder for us as an earth energy to see for ourselves, right? How we're trying to move this energy forward, and what we're allowing ourselves to put up with, which is why spirits had us in the Eight of Cups for at least 6 months, earth signs, because especially for like a Taurus, I'm a Taurus, right? I'm slow, steady, methodical in my movement, right? It has to make sense to me in order for me to cut it, in order for me to bind it, in order for me to walk away from that kind of energy. But then being in our emotions and trying to stay in that grounding center energy really starts to show you the cycles, right? And so it's learning from your own cycles, which is why we closed out with the Ten of Cups. We want happiness, we want our blessings. And as I look down, look, she's on a rainbow. We want our abundance, we want emotional happiness, fulfillment, equally giving and receiving energies, open, people that are open in their emotions to receiving so they can give back to us as well, right? I fill your cup, you fill my cup. Equally giving, we never drain each other. It's just a constant flow of equally giving and receiving, right? So let's clarify this steampunk priestess energy, listening to our divine intuition, our secrets, our oracle energies. Yes. Yes. Okay, so with the steampunk energy, we have the Seven of Pentacles with the Three of Swords in reverse, right? Three of Swords in reverse. We've allowed ourselves to come out of the darkness, to start bringing in Soul Tribe, right? The people who want to start harvesting, right? And picking up where we left off to continue building, because we are now out of the darkness. We have now started to see why we've been Eight of Cupsing everything, right? If it doesn't fucking feel good to me in heart chakra energy, I shut that down real quick, because I am not one to play with my emotions. I love hard, I love deep, and I am all about love, right? Which is why I'm trying to step into that shit. So this is by allowing ourselves to get out of conflict, allowing ourselves to come out of shadow side, to be able to start and really allow ourselves to protect the empire that we've been building, right? That's what this whole journey has been about for us for the last 3 years, especially for the collectives that have followed me for 3 years. I love you guys, right? And I want you to succeed as well as me to succeed. So it is about equally giving and receiving. Remember, it is about picking up where we left off and filling each other's cups, right? Because she's in green. It's about the heart chakra energy. Emotional availability, which is why we closed out anybody not an emotional, who is not emotionally available for emotional happiness within ourselves, right? Which is why that is very much listening to our intuition. Keeping a forward movement this week in our energies so we can keep this cycle going, right? So let's find out about the good geisha energy, really coming out of the darkness to bloom and feel. Hells yes. So with the good geisha, our date with destiny, right? Stepping in because we closed out all these cycles. With the good geisha, that is because we want the Four of Wands, the 1111, happy home, happy hearth, happy family, happy abundance, right? For the Four of Cups, we have focused on everything else, and now Spirit is coming in and saying, look, make sure you're out of that Nine of Swords energy, out of your head, staying and moving into safer, calmer waters, right? Because here's where it's leading us, right? We are now focusing on heart chakra energy, love, the things that make us feel good. So with this one, we have Four of Wands, Four of Cups, and Six of Wands. So angel number 446. Actually, I'm going to write that down so I can check that out when I get off of YouTube again to see what specific number that is. So look up angel number 446, and let's see what that is going to tell us in this energy. because it's about focusing on the heart chakra, happy home, happy hearth, right? Again, with the good geisha, it is about traditional value, respect, right? Integrity of how we're moving this energy forward, because that's what gives us victory, the celebration, right? Coming in and standing out and having that light just shine on you, and looking at it as the world is my playground and I'm ready to play, right? I want love. I want commitment of journey. I want to be in that playful energy, which is why I'm excited for the earth signs to step into the circus of love, right? To really allow ourselves to just shine for who we are. No fucks given, right? I could give two fucks what anybody thinks about me. Most of Oshkosh thinks I'm fucking crazy anyway. So it just works for me, right? So allow ourselves with the Hierophant energy, which is our grounding energies, especially for the earth signs, right? Taurus energy, Capricorn and Virgo, right? The maiden. Remember Virgo, it's about showing us how to love each other. The Capricorn energy is the devil in reverse, right? Capricorns have now come in and really showed us how to start getting out of this dark side energy, right? Because that is why they're the devil in the tarot, right? Because they've come back to fulfill the old soul contract of clearing and closing out, right? And that is exactly why the Taurus energies are being hooked up and getting ready in the Seven of Pentacles to plow the field so the rest of the collectives can come through. Make sure we're giving ourselves nurturing energies, balance, right? Making nothing into something, right? That's what the Pentacles are for us. Material gain. That is what we're supposed to be doing, is making sure that we're getting rid of all the shitty shit so we have room to be able to receive the goodness that's coming in, especially since we have a date with destiny that's moving us out of choppy waters, getting us out of our head, and closing out a lack cycle of love, right? Prosperity, abundance, which then gives us our 10 of Cups, an abundance of love and heart chakra, really feeling in the frequencies. So let's find out about the circus of love. All right, so within this circus of love, we have the Chariot, moving forward in balance and in our truth with the King of Swords in reverse. Because we're moving it forward in the circus of love, right? And with the King of Swords in reverse, this is that energy of truth, of knowledge, just the facts kind of masculine energy. And we're moving forward not in masculine energy. We are moving forward in heart chakra energy, right? Moving into the circus of love. Again, we are doing everything based on heart. If it doesn't feel good in our energy, we don't want it, right? So therefore, don't come at me with your truth and with your facts of how you feel that I should be, or the things that you think I should be doing in this lifetime, because I'm going to read our grounding energies again, and that makes sense. Distorted perceptions. Reality is rarely what we are raised to believe it is, right? Stepping outside of the box, which is exactly what I do, because I could give two shits. I just know what I know because I know it, and therefore I speak it out and I manifest it because that's what I'm here to do, right? Open and plow the fields for the rest of the collectives to come through in their journey. So it's very much learning to close out any of that toxic energy, which is why we have the devil in reverse. We've now started to see how to start closing out energies that no longer serve us for our highest and best good, right? Or people coming in while we're making forward movement in our happiness and our desires, right? To try to put us in judgment. I don't accept that, and I won't take it. So you might as well just not even come at me with that kind of shit, because I won't receive it. All right, so let's find out about the King Yeah, see, the King of Swords in reverse is very much because we are making the choice with the Two of Wands to move into this energy of forward movement, right? Allowing ourselves to come out, right? Protect our own energy, and made the choice to now start seeing the ships coming in, right? Going through this evolution, and not keeping ourselves stagnant or stuck based on what somebody else comes in and tells us that we need to do, or that we're crazy in this lifetime. And I'll be the first one to tell everybody who always says, this sounds crazy. And I'm like, no, it doesn't. To me, it sounds beautiful because you're not keeping yourself in a box of judgment, right? You're freeing your soul. You're allowing yourself to see things the way it needs to be seen. So I love that. So yeah, see, because then we're in the Queen of Cups. We're in heart chakra energy, listening to our intuition, allowing our date with destiny to come in and really put us in the alignment that we need to be put in. And I love this, right? Because not only have we done a lot of work, soul work, to get where we are, my beautiful earth signs, but we're moving out of choppy waters. We're staying out of head so we can work in heart, which is why we have Queen of Cups, Hanged Man, looking for that perception of what makes us feel good, with the Lover's energy being balanced in heart and in mind on the things that make us feel good, because that's why we're stepping into the circus of love. I love this for the earth signs. We deserve it. We've worked hard, and here's that celebration. Especially when we have Princess victorious, right? With the devil energy in reverse. We've cut a lot of negative and toxic energies from our life, as well as behaviors within ourselves, which led us to cutting out masculine ego, right? Which is why we are now standing this week in the Queen of Cups. So unless you're coming in to fill my cup, and I will receive that shit. Other than that, I don't want any of it. That's why I've pulled my energy. That's why I've allowed myself to not be in negative energies, negative behaviors, negative environments, right? Because we want something sturdy coming out of the darkness into the Hierophant energy, which is a beautiful new path of transformation out of the bitter cold that we've been receiving in heart chakra. Yes, for Steampunk Princess, allowing ourselves to follow intuition, protect our empire, and pick up where we left off so we can move forward as a collective and journey, because we have now allowed the conflict and the confusion and the swords to fall out of our bitter cold heart. So we could get into good geisha energies with the Four of Wands, the Four of Cups, and the Six of Wands, right? Because we want victory in our heart chakra with happy home, happy hearth, happy abundance, equally giving and receiving, working in spiritual journey. Again, make sure you look up angel number 446, which leads us into the circus of love, happiness, creative energies, forward movement with the Chariot, because we're not going to put up with any bullshit behavior, because we've made the choice now to step out in this transformation and to be in heart chakra energy, which is why we end it with the Queen of Cups. So let's get some weekly messages. We're going to use the C melodies, right? Because I'm feeling very much in my emotions today. That's why I'm excited to find out what angel number 446 is, because that's leading us into this heart chakra celebration, moving forward and closing any doors that no longer serve us for our highest and best good. We have strength. Stay afloat and feel steady and calm in your energy. I love that very much. That's our date with destiny. I'm going to get all fancy. We have flow, let your worries drift away, right? There is that Nine of Swords energy. Stay out of your head, feel in heart chakra, feel in emotion, right? Because if it doesn't make you feel good, we know what to do with that. Eight of Cups, that shit. Communicate. Things left unsaid will never reach the shore, right? This is about your truth, your clarity, making sure that you are moving forward in heart chakra energy and recharge. There is nothing like a walk on the beach to soothe your soul. So I'll probably go down to the water at some point today and really just allow myself to flow in these energies and clear it out because that's what this week is until September 7th when the new moon comes in, right? That is exactly why we are getting rid of all the shitty shit, pulling our energy to recharge our mind, our body, our soul. I love this. So needed. I will connect with this next week. So much peace, so much love. I love you guys.